What if everything you think you know about money is completely wrong? You see, we're taught that wealth is just about saving, investing and earning more. But the truth? Wealth is about something much deeper. It's about how you think about money. That's the idea Morgan Housel tackles in his groundbreaking book, The Psychology of Money. And today, I want to share with you the most powerful lessons from this book. Lessons that could completely transform the way you see your finances, and maybe even your life. So, let me ask you, what if getting rich wasn't just about making more money? What if it had everything to do with mastering your emotions? In The Psychology of Money, Housel argues that success in personal finance isn't about what you know, it's about how you behave. And that's the hardest thing to teach. You can learn about stocks, real estate, crypto, and all the ways to invest, but without the right mindset, none of it will matter. Let's dive into the first key idea. 1. Money success is not about IQ, it's about EQ. Here's the truth. How smart you are doesn't determine how wealthy you'll become. Surprised? Most people think that mastering money is all about intelligence, but it's actually about behavior. Think about it. How many people do you know who are highly educated but struggle financially, or people who seem average but have managed to build incredible wealth? Housel points out that building wealth is 90% patience, humility, and self-control. It's how you respond to opportunities, temptations, and crises. Take the stock market, for example. Everyone wants to invest when the market is booming, but real wealth is built when you have the patience to stay the course when things get tough, when everyone else is panicking and selling, but you hold on. It's not glamorous, but it's true. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on earth, didn't get rich because he's the smartest investor in the world. He got rich because he's been investing consistently for more than 80 years. Now think about that. Do you have the patience to wait? The next key lesson might surprise you, and it's something that could save you from a lifetime of regret. 2. Avoid the get-rich-quick trap. We live in a world where everyone is looking for shortcuts, quick wins, fast money, overnight success. But here's the harsh reality. Trying to get rich quick usually leads to losing it all just as fast. Housel explains that most people fall into financial traps because they want wealth now rather than letting it grow steadily over time. Take lottery winners, for example. Did you know that a staggering 70% of them end up broke or bankrupt? Which brings us to an uncomfortable but essential truth. 3. Wealth is what you don't see. When you think of someone who's rich, what comes to mind? The mansion, the flashy cars, the expensive clothes. But here's the thing, that's not wealth, that's spending. True wealth is invisible. It's what's left when you're done spending. So take a moment and ask yourself, are you chasing wealth or are you chasing the appearance of wealth? And here's where things get even more interesting. 4. Enough is enough. How much money is enough? $1 million? 10 million? More? Housel argues that the happiest people aren't the ones chasing endless wealth. They're the ones who know when they have enough. So let me challenge you. Take a moment and reflect. How much is enough for you? Now, we're going to shift gears and talk about something that's even more powerful than money itself. 5. Control over your time is the ultimate form of wealth. At the end of the day, money is just a tool, but what it buys you isn't cars or vacations or fancy clothes. The most valuable thing money can buy is freedom. So, where does that leave you? Are you chasing the wrong kind of wealth? Or are you building a life where time, freedom, and contentment are your true measures of success? Now let's dig deeper into an idea that might seem uncomfortable at first, but it's one of the most powerful concepts in the entire book. 6. Luck and risk. Two sides of the same coin. We love to celebrate success stories, don't we? People who made millions, who built incredible companies, who seem to have it all figured out. But here's the truth no one likes to admit. Success has just as much to do with luck as it does with hard work. Think about it. Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world, attended one of the only high schools in America that had a computer in the 1960s. If Gates had gone to almost any other school, his path might have looked very different. He worked hard, no doubt, out, but he also got lucky. And here's the kicker. Most of us underestimate the role luck plays in financial success. But on the flip side, we also underestimate risk. Here's what Housel says: luck and risk are two sides of the same coin. Sometimes success comes down to being in the right place at the right time. Other times, failure happens because of factors completely outside of our control. You could do everything right, save diligently, invest wisely, plan meticulously, and still lose money because of some unforeseen market crash or global crisis. Does that mean you were wrong? Not necessarily. It just means risk is part of the game. But here's the key. Understanding this allows you to protect yourself from making extreme decisions. It helps you realize that you don't have full control over the outcomes, but you can control how you respond. So, what's the lesson here? You have to respect the role of luck and risk in your financial journey. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that someone else's success is a blueprint you can just copy. And don't beat yourself up when things go wrong either. Instead, focus on making consistently good decisions, knowing that some things are simply out of your hands. This brings us to the next game-changing concept. 7. The power of compounding. Now, we've all heard about compounding, right? You invest a little, it grows, and over time, that growth accelerates. But here's what's mind-blowing. The true power of compounding isn't just about money. It's about time, patience, and consistency. Housel gives an example that's hard to believe at first. Did you know that almost all of Warren Buffett's wealth, over 90% of it, came after his 65th birthday? That's right. Buffett's incredible fortune wasn't built in his 30s, 40s, or even 50s. It came from decades of letting his investments grow and compound. The key lesson here? The earlier you start, the better. But it's not just about starting early. It's about staying consistent. The biggest financial mistake people make is getting impatient and pulling out too soon. They want results now, but wealth building doesn't work that way. It's like planting a tree. You can't dig it up every few months to check if the roots are growing. You have to trust the process, water it regularly, and give it time. Now ask yourself, are you letting your financial seeds grow, or are you uprooting them before they have the chance to blossom? 8. Tails drive everything. This idea might be one of the most surprising in the entire book. Housel explains that most financial outcomes are driven by a small handful of events, what he calls tail events. In the stock market, for example, a tiny fraction of investments are responsible for the vast majority of long-term returns. What does this mean for you? It means that most of your wealth will likely come from just a few key decisions, investments, or opportunities. The problem is, you won't know which ones they are ahead of time. So, how do you protect yourself? You stay in the game. You give yourself as many chances as possible to experience those tail events. And when you find something that's working, you let it run. Too many people make the mistake of cutting their winners too soon. They see a little profit and pull out. But the true wealth builders are the ones who understand that sometimes you need to let your winners ride. That's how you capture those rare, high-impact opportunities. So, take a moment and think. Are you cutting off your tail events before they've had a chance to flourish? 9. Everyone's financial journey is different. Here's another truth that can change how you see money forever. There is no one-size-fits-all path to financial success. Your goals, your values, your circumstances, they're unique to you. And the worst mistake you can make is to compare your financial journey to someone else's. Maybe your friend just bought a huge house and you're still renting. Or maybe you're investing conservatively while your coworker is chasing risky, high-reward ventures. It's easy to feel like you're behind or not doing enough. But here's what Housel says. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. One of the biggest traps in personal finance is trying to keep up with others without taking the time to understand what really matters to you. Maybe you value security over growth or freedom over luxury. Whatever it is, your financial plan should reflect your unique life. So stop comparing. Start focusing on what you want your money to do for you. And remember, wealth isn't about hitting some arbitrary number. It's about living life on your own terms. 10. The most important financial skill is survival. This is a lesson that's not talked about enough. In the world of money, survival is the name of the game. It doesn't matter how much money you make if you can't hang on to it. Housel explains that the number one rule of building wealth is staying in the game long enough to let your money grow. That means avoiding the catastrophic mistakes that can wipe you out. Things like taking on too much debt, over-leveraging in risky investments, or making impulsive decisions when the market drops. In finance, the best strategy isn't always the one with the highest returns. It's the one that allows you to survive the longest, because the longer you survive, the more chances you have to grow your wealth. So, before you chase after the next big opportunity, ask yourself, will this help me survive in the long run? Because at the end of the day, those who win are the ones who stay in the game the longest. 11th, be humble, even when you're winning. This brings us to our final and perhaps most important lesson, humility. Housel explains that financial success often breeds overconfidence, and that can be incredibly dangerous. When things are going well, it's easy to start thinking you've got it all figured out. But the moment you think you're invincible is often the moment you make your biggest mistakes. The most successful investors in the world, people like Buffett, stay humble, even when they're winning. They know that the market can turn at any moment, that luck plays a role in their success, and that they can't predict the future. Staying humble keeps you grounded. It stops you from making reckless decisions, and it reminds you that financial success is a journey, not a destination. So, as you grow in your financial journey, never lose sight of humility. It will be your greatest asset in protecting and growing your wealth. To wrap it all up, the psychology of money isn't about spreadsheets, charts, or get-rich-quick schemes. It's about mastering your emotions, your behavior, and your mindset around money. Patience, humility, self-control. These are the real drivers of wealth. So, here's my challenge to you. Take a moment to reflect. Are you chasing the appearance of wealth, or are you building real financial freedom? Are you focused on surviving and staying in the game for the long haul? And most importantly, are you letting your money give you control over your time, the ultimate measure of success? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more life-changing financial insights, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because when we change the way we think about money, we change our entire life. Thanks for watching, and remember, wealth isn't just about money, it's about mindset.